Hello everyone, we started learning the applications of GPT models, and specifically we have seen text generation using GPT models in the previous session. Now we shall see one more application of GPT models, text summarization. So, we have understood from the introductory sessions when the language is learned by the model, we say we are pre-training the model, and when it is doing something like this, a task which is very much specific, we call it as fine tuning. So, under fine tuning, maybe you have seen the first application, text generation using GPT. Now we are going to see text summarization using GPT, and in the next session we shall see one more application of GPT models. So, what exactly is text summarization? When you have a big paragraph or a big article, summarization means you are going to take the extract of that, the meaning of that in a simple paragraph. Suppose I have a text of or a paragraph of some 100 lines. I want a gist of that, summary of that. That summary is called as generating that summary of 100 lines into maybe a 20 line or 25 lines, we can call it as text summarization. These numbers are just for an example. It is not exactly 100 lines of text is converted into 25 lines, right? So, we are trying to have a gist of a huge text information into a smaller textual information, right? That process of generating gist of a huge article, we call it as text summarization, and we are going to see how GPT is going to generate that summary. Now, text summarization using GPT involves the process of condensing, reducing a large body of text into a shorter version while retaining the key ideas, context and meaning. You are not supposed to lose the key idea of the huge paragraph, and also you are not supposed to lose the context. Say for example, in my session, I have taken example of a bigger paragraph on Mahatma Gandhi and how do we go for summarization of the same thing. So, when I am talking about Mahatma Gandhi, I should not lose what are his key ideas, how he led his life, how he led the country towards freedom. All such key ideas should not be lost. At the same time, I should not lose the context, right? GPT models as advanced NLP processors, they can be used for two types of summarization. Try to understand. Generally, we go for two types of summarization. One is extractive, the other one is abstractive. Both are little bit near to each other in pronunciation. Just try to see extractive summarization, abstractive summarization. And in both the things, the stronger one is generally considered to be the abstractive summarization. Let us see what exactly they both are. What type of result do we expect when I give a same kind of text, but I am expecting abstractive summary of it. Similarly, extractive summary of the same. What exactly the content will look like and what is the main principle behind that. Abstractive summary of any text using GPT. What exactly is abstractive summary? Try to see this one. Abstractive summarization generates new sentences or paraphrases that capture the main points of the original text rather than just extracting direct quotes or phrases. Try to understand. What did I do just now? I have just read the sentence that is typed here as it is. Did you observe that? So, when I am using the same keywords, sentences which are there in the original text, we call it as extractive summary. But what is abstractive summary? You are trying to give summary of the bigger paragraph into a smaller version using maybe some new sentences. You need not use the sentences which are there in the original text information. You can try to put it in your own words. So, now if you take example of writing in an exam, do we exactly write the same sentences which are there in the textbook, or do we write it in our own words? Generally the tendency is we try to write it in our own words. We don't exactly copy the sentences which are there in the textbook, right? So when you are trying to give summary of a huge content in your own words, maybe using new sentences, new keywords which are definitely not part of the original one, we call such kind of summarization as abstractive summarization. I will show you this with an example also in the next slides. GPT, what it does, how does it generate abstractive summarization? First, it will take input text. Definitely you need to give a bigger text information for which it has to generate the summary. And after taking the input text, what it is doing? Text processing. The model processes the input text and it tries to grab the context of that and what are the major things that you want to propose there and what are the details that you have given there, right? Generation of summary, then the model tries to generate a concise summary, a shorter version of that by focusing on the most important points, tries to rephrase them, rephrasing in the sense need not use the same sentences which are there in the original text, and tries to give the summary is coherent and contextually accurate. Say for example, I am talking on the personal habits of somebody, right? When it is trying to generate the summary, it should not leave the context. It is wherein in the original one I have talked about the personal habits or hobbies of someone, that should not be deviated. In the summary also it should talk about the habits and hobbies. The context should not be lost. The output is often shorter naturally because you have a huge text, you are trying to generate the summary. From the huge text you are trying to get the summary will be definitely shorter and more readable than the original text while retaining the key message. This is what we generally do in exams, right? Are we writing, suppose a particular concept is explained in 5 pages in the textbook. Do we write exactly 5 pages in the answer? Maybe not. I definitely don't write those many pages. I try to put it in shorter version and try to write depending on the marks, right? Say for example, OOPS principles. I have given it for 2 marks. What will be the content? I have given it for 5 marks. The content will be different. I mean, the key idea is same. For 2 marks, what will be the content that you are going to present in the paper? For 5 marks, the content should be expanded. For 10 marks, it should be more with examples and all, right? You cannot write the same 2 marks answer for 10 marks, even though the question is same. I guess you are getting, right? So, the summary is shorter, readable than the original text, and still you are retaining the key ideas. Consider for example, I have given, though this is not such a bigger paragraph, I just wanted to show you the difference. Suppose this is the bigger paragraph I have given and asked for abstractive summary of the same paragraph. If you just see this one, Mahatma Gandhi, born in 1969 in Gujarat, India, was a visionary leader who played a central role in India's fight for independence from British colonial rule. So much information is there. Whereas it has started with Mahatma Gandhi was a pivotal leader. Do we ever see pivotal in this paragraph? No. It has introduced a keyword, pivot, the keyword, the important word, something like that, which gives us the sense of importance. So, Mahatma Gandhi was an important leader, is an important leader of Indian history. So, Mahatma Gandhi was a pivotal leader in India's independence movement, known for his principles, so and so. So, this entire paragraph is summarized into 3 to 4 lines, may not be using the same keywords of the paragraph. If you are generating such kind of summary, we call it as abstractive summarization of the text. Now, what are the advantages? First one, what is the purpose of summarization? You are trying to reduce the content, condense the content. without losing the key information. This is to be mentioned whenever you are writing about summarization. You are trying to rephrase and paraphrase the original content and making the summary more precise and readable. What are the challenges? Sometimes you might lose the accuracy of the facts. While summarization, you are trying to leave some of the keywords which might try to reduce the accuracy of a fact, right? And sometimes GPT might omit, because you are allowing it to omit the original content and just give a gist. Sometimes it might omit essential information, may not be properly fine tuned. Does this happen when we are writing examination? Maybe with me, yes. I might not, I might have written the OOPS principles in my examination paper, but I might not have used the keywords which are to be used. Say for example, during encapsulation, I should use the words data hiding, data abstraction. I might use those words. Suppose I am not using those words, but still I am writing big paragraphs of that. So sometimes the valuator might expect the keywords than keeping on writing the meaning of that without using the keyword, isn't it? So you might miss the factual accuracy, or sometimes you might omit essential information when we are going for abstractive summarization. The second one, extractive summarization. What do you mean by extractive summarization? You use the original paragraph, try to take some of the sentences from the original paragraph, try to put it in the summary. So you are taking the same sentences from the original text, try to give summary of that. You are trying to shorten that without going for introducing new keywords, new rephrasings, new paraphrasings, etc. You are not allowing it to introduce new content. So you are trying to produce whatever is there in the original text, but in a shorter version. We call it as extractive. You are extracting from the original paragraph only some of the sentences. So extractive summarization. Again, what is the process? Input text, identify the key information, summarizing by extraction. What are we doing under extraction? The output is a set of key sentences or paragraphs directly taken from the input text. That is very important for us. So this is the original text. If you see, Mahatma Gandhi, what is the time period we set there? 1869 to 1948, was a key leader in India's struggle for independence, known for his principles of non-violence and civil disobedience, etc. If you see this one, Mahatma Gandhi, born in 1869. Did we change anything? No. We know 1869 means that is from where his actual journey started as a human being, right? So born in 1869, was a leader in India's independence movement, known for his philosophy of non-violence and civil disobedience. If you observe, we are trying to use the same things from the paragraph and put the summary. So you are trying to take the information from the original paragraph as it is without introducing too many new words. We call such kind of summarization as extractive summarization. What are the advantages? Because you are not rephrasing it or paraphrasing it, you are not losing the factual information. The same keywords which are there in the original text are produced here. What could be the challenges? Output may lack flow and readability because you are trying to simply select some of the sentences from the paragraph. If I try to select two sentences, one talking about where he is born, one talking about straight away what are the freedom fights he has initiated, or how much time did he spend in jail, right? So the relevancy of the sentences might be missing there. And how does the GPT model generates the summaries? What are the steps involved in that? First one, pre-processing the input. Pre-processing always take the sentence, try to break it into tokens. Then it has to understand the context. Then based on how the model is trained, it has to generate the next word in the summary, whether it is fitting with the other words which are already generated, and are we fitting into the context or not. Output summary, the generated text is returned as summary in a human readable format. That means the tokens are combined into sentences while generating the summary. Fine tuning the GPT for summarization, special training. Sometimes you might try to give some few shot learning. Sometimes the summary automatically is generated using zero shot learning. And custom prompts, summarize the article into 3 sentences. This is specific prompt. You are not expecting random summary, you are expecting the summary in 3 sentences. So you can also give specific prompts while going for summarization. Applications that are based on summarization, these are some of the applications that are based on GPT summarization. And what are the limitations? Sometimes you might actually lose the actual facts, and sometimes inaccuracies are built into it, and consistency is always an issue when you are trying to take from a bigger paragraph, you are trying to take a shorter paragraph. So, GPT model, it is excellently working with abstractive summarization, and sometimes they give better results with extractive summarization also, but better performance with abstractive summarization. So, in the next session, we will be talking about dialogue generation or dialogue application with GPT model. Thank you.